Hi everybody, I'm Strike the Squid, and in retrospect, I probably should pay my giant flying boulder bill. So since my bank account is the same as my age, I don't really play a lot of video games. I am, of course, an epic gamer, but not a rich one, or one that has a lot of time in their hands. So I gotta pick and choose the games I play. Usually I focus on games released in specifically the current year, and from franchises I already like. There's an occasional time where I go out of my comfort zone though, like with the video I made earlier this year, playing some of my friends' favorite games. The response to this video was people complaining I didn't ask them to be included, but the entire gimmick of the video was I didn't ask anyone. Instead of whining, I got a few people just simply suggesting eventually I check out a game called In Stars in Time, an indie RPG from 2023 about time loops. I have never heard of this game before at this moment. I watch a lot of varied game channels, and none of them ever even mentioned this in passing, nor have I ever seen fan art of it. If I didn't have such specific connections, I would have died without knowing it. But hey, they asked nicely, game seemed interesting, other reasons got me intrigued. I decided to check it out, and dude, this game is amazing. I have to get more people to discuss and play it. Can I do that with my non-existent watch base? Probably not, but hey, I'll try. Now, In Stars in Time is a game that's hard to discuss without spoilers, but is also one that's an absolute best if you know very little about it. I'm going to start this video setting up the game to try and get you interested. And there will be spoiler-free final thoughts, but even the bulk of this video is spoilers. I'll obviously tag it so you can skip it, because listen, I'm a greedy monster, I love views, but you need to experience the game on your own. If you already played, or if you feel extremely confident you'll never play the game, stick around. If there's even a 1% chance you'll play it, skip that portion and come back when you beat it. With that all set up, let's start, shall we? So some setup. This game was made by Adriana Bizarre, also known as Insert Disc 5, and is a fleshed out version of the original prototype game Start Again, a prologue. An RPG Maker game that's basically just a small section of In Stars. In this game, you play as Siffrin, an adventurer with a really cool hat who teams up with 4 other adventurers to stop an evil king, who's been freezing people in time. By the time the game starts, the team actually have been adventure partners for a while. You even have them start at level 45. Your teammates consist of Mirabelle, the chosen hero and a nice girl who is a part of the Hawksmaiden crew that slowly got picked off by the king. Odile, a mysterious and closed-off researcher from distant land who's the oldest of the group. When I first saw a picture of her, I thought she was a humanized version of Marvin the Martian. Isabu, the boisterous yet kind and dorky muscle of the group. And Bonnie, a kid who tagged along and assisted the crew, with them being their chef and item holder. They are precious. All these 5 are great characters, to the point where the only 4 people I know who've played the game, myself included, have a separate favorite. I know there's a Bonnie stan out there, somewhere, we will find you. My favorite is Mirabelle, by the way, I'll discuss her later. After some searching around, find out a little bit about the quirks of the cast, alongside the culture of this world, as they both have the Change God, the God of the universe who brings good fortune to those who change something about themselves, and the Wish Tree, a tree that is claimed to grant wishes. After a sleepover with your crew, you embark on your mission, where we get to the gameplay. Your main enemies are Statnesses, a variety of enemies that are created by negative emotions. Each Statness has their own gimmick and are randomly shuffled through for every encounter. So while where they are is set throughout their run, the specific enemy you fight is random. This is an RPG as stated before, but notably, it has a twist for your strategy. You, alongside every enemy, is either rock, paper, or scissors, and their weakness and resistance matches the game. Siffrin and Mirabelle are scissors, Isabu is rock, and Odile is paper. Though as you move on, all of them can learn moves not from their original type. Odile in particular is a master of all from the start, having access to all types, at the detriment of being slow and having the lowest health. Mirabelle also works as your healer. And if you're curious about Bonnie, your ability to chime in during your playthrough with very special effects, whether it be buffing you, healing you, or attacking the enemy. There is for some reason a 99% chance that Bonnie will miss their attack. It doesn't even do that much damage. I don't know why Bonnie crabbing sucks at assisting. I hate children! But yeah, everything's going good. And you briefly switch your game as Siffrin's main role in the team is to search for traps, and he finds nothing in the room at all. So then Siffrin gets crushed to death. In Stars in Time is a revolutionary game, doing something most games are not capable of doing. Having 1-hour gameplay that I charged $20 for. Okay, it was revolutionary until the DK Bonanza DLC came out. But no, it's time to going back to the past to fight the stupid king who's a crab. They use crab to believe every swear. Trust me, it's really, really hilarious to play the game. So you do all your normal meetings until you go back under the tree, where you meet Walk from Paper Mario as Tomer Sexy Man. Actually, this is Loop, a being from outside time who knows a lot about you. And this weird predicament you're in. You see, Siffrin, unbeknownst to themselves, actually has the ability to loop back in time whenever they die, similar to Blood movie Happy Death Day. None of your teammates know this, nor do they know of Loop. And now knowing of his power, you can avoid becoming a pancake and make it through the tower again. I was a little worried that stuff might get repetitive. You actually have the ability to zone out of conversations you've seen before to speed it up. I do see myself reading a lot of back of the dialogue though, because this game is actually really, really funny. Main fight bouts of each other super well. Sif is a pun-loving gremlin, Issa is a himbo who's actually a bit smarter than you'd first think, but still pretty straightforward. Mirabelle is a nice girl who always says the first thing she thinks. Odile is a snarky straight woman, and Bonnie is the child who has a very narrow view on things. That leads the five to being an absolute laugh riot. From Siffrin bumping on a table and everyone ribbing him for it. Bonnie's pathetic attempts to roast the crew. The whole scene where Siffrin tricks Bonnie to drink water that they think is alcohol. Odile being weirded out by the crew's strange habits. Mirabelle's awkwardness and attempts to seem normal and calm always backfiring. Generally among the funniest games I've played. For now. Really, it's little things that make me love it. Sif's notes to himself, the really well-made dialogue portraits that tell you everything you need to know about each character, the cute lore reason of the entire town being colorblind, so the game itself is in black and whites, how crab is so sacred to the game that finding a pot of it cooking is blasphemous, and everyone's reaction to a dog. This is one of the most charmingly put together worlds I've seen. Without going too in-depth with the layout of each level of the castle, you work through it, finding keys to open doors, fighting mini-bosses to help clear the way, die a lot of times either through your own faults or by this being a very poorly designed castle, until you get to the king, a towering, vile man, whose hair that would make Rapunzel blush, and hitting the dancing camera gif. After a hard fight, you die. You can't beat him. He's hitting that Homer dance way too hard. That is, if you look around to find a shield, which means you can now actually survive an insta-kill move. Finally get a chance to take him on fairly, where he tells you about how his world is lost and he wants to freeze everyone in time, not have them lose what he lost, keeping everyone in a state of perfect stillness. This is the plot of the Lego movie. But even with his hard-hitting attacks and his grimly-esque speech patterns, you and your team finally do it. Even after your many deaths, the king is beaten, with everyone being returned to their original form. You have a brief chat with your partners, who are all very shaken, yet extremely happy to have finally taken down the king. Even it seems like they all have something on their minds. Siffrin's just happy to be free of his loops. And after talking to all your friends, you meet with a head housemaiden, who congratulates you for your victory, encourages you to check in on her Mirabelle, and then glitches. Ripples. The head housemaiden breaks down in tears. Your friends are all fading. Then suddenly, you're back where you started. The game only just begun. For a fairly short game, the Stars in Time completely rocked my world. While the start of the game is very fun, the rest of it is some of the most visceral emotion I've ever seen from a game. One of the most engaging stories, all while remaining a fun time to play. Something that I appreciate is that, unlike Undertale or Doki Doki Literature Club, this game is basically unknown. Every major plot twist I experienced firsthand. I wasn't spoiled on anything. Because of that, if you haven't played the game, and there's even a 1% chance you want to give it a go, I implore you, skip to the time code shown on screen. Make like Siffrin and loop forward to my non-spoiler final thoughts. And need as many people as possible to play this game. But also, God, do I want to discuss the deeper points. I think I've stalled long enough. Let's wake back up. Okay, so if you're watching this now, I see you have played the game, so the rest of the video is going to be me gushing about why I love it. After you start with backtracking a tiny bit, which is fine in my opinion. You're trying to get your bearings straight story-wise, and gameplay-wise, it allows you to explore the castle a bit and learn more about looping. After finding a few bits from your crew and the king, we get to my favorite part of the game, the friendship quests. While I love the cast so far, some definitely felt off about them. They were kind of static. Makes sense since you were mostly playing the same story over and over, but they were entertaining enough. These finally pushed them so far to show not only are they all really funny, but I can genuinely see myself in all of them. Discussing in the order I did it, Odile's requires you to do a lot of mindless running around and backtracking, honestly making it my least favorite of the four from my gameplay experience. But the main bulk of it is still really fun, as we see Odile slowly lower her walls and become a lot more jokey with you. Revealing that underneath the really strict and rigid persona she shows, she's kind of a dork. Loki, both design and personality-wise, showing a lot of Little Cawthorn Owl House, with how they're both a really strict people following their own paths, for preventing a dork younger than them, and showing their true colors. When you get her the book she's looking for, and she reveals that the research she's been doing is all kind of just made up. She's not here for anything specific. She's here to find herself. A purpose. For instance, her mom, who left when she was young, was actually from Vargard. The message of your past doesn't define you. You can work out your own future. While not new, it's also really nice to hear from a character who's consistently called old throughout the game. She's been adventuring for a while. Even though she's in her 40s, this is a moment where she realizes what she's going to do with her life and real purpose. Sure, a great moment for Siffrin too, as we realize they don't have to set purpose or past. But like Odile, has a future. A family. It's great to see Odile lower her walls and truly connect with you. Even if she does it while hitting the DreamWorks face. Bonnie's quest is the most action-focused one, but also probably the most emotional. After shocking them by revealing you know their favorite foods, one of the things that just, can I say, Bonnie is like one of the best written kid characters. They're one of the very few recent child characters I've seen that are just feel like an actual kid. They're mischievous, rude, easy to entertain, rambunctious, but at the end of the day, they're still very sweet, innocent, and naive. A lot more recent media just makes kids mini adults, so it's nice to have a gremlin once in a while. Bonnie's quest is helping them learn to fight, which is one of the big shocks to me. I just never expected them to put the 2-apple-tall child into a dangerous situation. I'm sure this would be the worst thing to happen to Bonnie in this chapter. The fights are mostly scripted, but it's a great building experience for Bonnie. Everyone looks down on them for being experienced and young, but they want to help. They want to make a difference, any way they can. They just have to learn patience. I like that these moments could just be you building your friends, but every one of them also involves Siffrin a lot. Like for this, it's twofold. Find out why people don't touch Siffrin because it makes him jump, allowing him to open himself a bit more. Also revealing that the reason they're missing an eye is because they took a hit to protect Bonnie. So it never even crossed my mind. I figured he just had an eye patch because it looked cool. But this fully justified why Bonnie was there. Why Siffrin keeps wanting to befriend them despite the rudeness, and it's just a really heartwarming moment of the two finally connecting on this event that's been lingering between them. Complete with a very cute hug between them. God, look at this sopping wet cat. Also Bertola, Bonnie's sister, a character we've never seen on screen, but everyone talks up as a really cool sibling. Guys, am I cooking? So while Old Al is really sweet, and Bonnie's really made me cry, Mirabelle's was of course my favorite. Yeah, well, you were all waiting for me to deep dive on this one. Cutting to the chase, this one has you talk through Mirabelle's struggle with trying to appease the change god, where the main way to do so is to date and marry someone. But that's something she doesn't want to do. Huh, or how my friend managed to convince me to play this game. Okay, yeah, that was the one thing I knew about the game going into it. Mirabelle is Arrow Ace, and Siffrin is Ace. I didn't know any main context for it. I didn't even know if it was word or gay, or actually said in game, but it was enough to pique my interest. This is definitely the lightest of the quests, starting with easily the best joke in the whole game. The second you tell her you know what those papers are, she really grabs her sword and the battle music plays. I genuinely thought we were about to fight. I had a mini heart attack before it revealed it was just a joke, and I immediately broke into laughter. Amazing moment. But also amazing is this is simply just a talk between Siffrin and Mirabelle, realizing that Mirabelle is Arrow Ace, pretty explicitly, and Siffrin working her through alongside revealing he's Ace too. And it's perfectly fine that both of them are the way they are. It's got even more great moments. One profile you look at is just a big buff dude, and one of the options is that we already have that. The funniest way you can phrase it. Siffrin and Mirabelle's dynamics together is just really fun, is they don't pull a punch with this scene. The terms Ace and Arrow aren't said, but what they mean with this scene is as easy to miss as a heat-seeking missile, which, oh god, thank you. Just, thank you. Way too many Ace reps in fiction hit way too many snags, off-screen rep, even in series with otherwise good on-screen rep. Dead around the rep does not disappoint shippers, hiding their rep behind optional material or side content, just not being explicit enough. Peridot is a member of the Crystal Gems who made her debut in the Warp Tour. She was originally a Homeworld Gem technician and a certified kindergartner. After being stranded on Earth following the events in Jailbreak, she reacted as a recurring technician until becoming... But here, it's a mandatory scene. You have to experience to beat the main story. And not only is it explicit, it hits a lot of struggles I feel all the time. I sometimes look at the world we live in and think how off it is, from my perspective. How everything revolves around sex. It sells. It's the main goal of most people. Every song that sounds innocent is about sex. Why Disney set their video celebrating their 50th animated movie to a song that's about a wet dream. Digital service creator Goosework went on a little spiel about how bad they feel that they made it work when none of their characters have sex, and that they feel awful for inflicting that upon their own creations. Well, that's my life! I am the amazing digital circus! So it's so cathartic to see Mirabelle vent about that, and to be told that she's not weird for it. She'll still have friends, and that's just as good as romantic or sexual partners. Even her religion and God can really hate her. She's playing with the rules, but she's still playing. It's a really cute and cathartic moment for me. I don't want to downplay Siffrin here either. It's confirmation he's asexual. As someone who's ace pan, it's always great to see a romantic asexual in media. And it's great to have both. Sony media will only bother to have a token ace who's likely also Arrow, or creators don't know enough about the spectrum, so they assume they're the same. But it's great to have a clear distinction. It's a spectrum. Surely there should be more than one character to show it off. And a nice simple talk between two people finally able to let this off their chest is just... Dude, it's just so nice. Despite being, again, a very lighthearted scene, this got me to cry as well. Maybe I was just emotional after the Bonnie one, but this is a phenomenal moment. Genuinely, I think Siffrin and Mirabelle are up there with Todd from BoJack Horseman as only good Ace or Arrow reps. Thank you for this. And thank you for everyone who told me to check this game out. But it doesn't end there. Issa will always be the one you talk with last. And he simply wants to hang out with you. While Issa was always the most open in the game, this really lets him fully express himself. He seems like this dumb, muscly himbo, but he's actually very astute and pretty wise. This is really more simple than the other three. But you find out a lot about Issa here, and it's a good rest stop after the heavy motion of the other three. The big thing? It's heavily implied that Issa is a trans man. Like, honestly, yeah, this game might have some of the best career rep I've seen. It's not really casual, but you can't miss it, which is the best kind of rep. Bonnie being non-binary, Sifrin being ace, gay and non-binary, Mirella being aroace, and Issa, trans characters are very underrepresented. Trans men are especially very underrepresented. So they don't even think of any besides Yamato, who sadly seems to be the only trans character people seem fine with misgendering. Oh, this doesn't count if they bring it up. It's a great moment for him, and great representation. Without him very clearly having a crush on Sifrin, he just can't spit it out. Everyone joins in on their little picnic. God, it's so cute. Love that for all the quests. There's a scene where the characters are shown smiling directly to the camera. It's one of those really nice subtle fourth wall blending that the game does very well that I'll discuss later. All these give you a really powerful ability, which is great. But this truly marks the time where the game goes from a very gameplay focused to very story focused, which is very much to its benefit. Because Sifrin really loved his memories of today, the game urges you to play through the houses without looping. You can die and restart fine, but you can't loop between levels. It's easier now that I know what to do, so it wasn't a drag. Plus there's some new dialogue this time, and the new abilities of the crew help lay through the setup. Sadly, this isn't where it ends. As even after being the king, you're back to the start, losing all the progress you had with your friends, with Sifrin clearly becoming more and more desperate. After finding out more and more about the king and his world, your world, you finally confront him one last time, and manage to talk him down. The king decides to help you in your quest to stop the loops, and find out about the past of himself and Sifrin. He then freezes the gang and kills Bonnie in front of you. My jaw dropped. My heart stopped. Dude, this was a gut punch. The game gut punches you all the time, but this time they let Mike Tyson take over. I hate the king. Everyone I've talked to hates this king, but he's a phenomenal villain. A great way to show that sympathetic doesn't always mean redeemable. He's kind of pathetic. He's an old man trapped in a room in a vulnerable pose, unable to remember where he came from, his life. Lost. He's just like you, but he's still a monster. He won't redeem himself no matter what. He'll cross any line he can. And I hate him, but I respect him. I still need him dead for killing my child, though. Clean shot. Thankfully, oh god, I'm so glad everyone watching this knows the full context of the game. Thankfully, Stefan can kill himself. 3 loops before Bonnie has to fully suffer. Even if that means he's back to the lab again as Act 4 starts. Act 4 really isn't super special. It's very much the backtracking act. Actually, yeah, let's address that since that's the real problem I've heard with the game. This game is very heavy in backtracking. I mean, if you beat Act 2, you've seen all but 3 enemies, all but 1 location, and met every major character. As I said, the game starts leading from gameplay heavy to story heavy. And while the story is fantastic, it's still a game. I don't think the backtracking moments are bad at all. They're usually pretty specifically told to you, so you don't have to run around just hoping you can find something. Plus it blends the story with the gameplay. Just like Sifrin, loops are dragging on you. The meaninglessness of everything is catching up to you. And yes, it's tedious and soul-crushing, but I didn't want to stop. Because right before I got to that point, it progressed. It's just irritating enough where you can feel what Sifrin is going through, but not enough to where it's unfun. What I can criticize with no asterisk, though, is the mandatory dialogue you need to see it progress, or just general new information. It's hidden behind the grayed out text that's supposed to signify all conversations with no real clue you should pick it. Yeah, that's the bad kind of tedious. Just don't gray it out so that we can know what we're doing. But the rest of the game running around and hoping to find something, break the loop, really hits. You keep finding new clues and things you can do, but none of them get you closer. You'll just be back again in the same field. The small things like Sifrin's icon getting more and more depressed in every act, how the loop counter starts skipping around because you lose count of how many times he's died, how he stops seeing his crew as teammates or family. Really cute scenes, by the way. Especially when the HUD changes to calling her family. But eventually he sees them as actors in a play. They always say the same thing in the same conversations, and you know exactly how they'll interact. Really having Sif kind of dehumanize them. But it's weird. I see this a lot. In the internet age, it's pretty easy to forget that there's actually people on the other side of the screen. People you watch online or talk to in specific situations like a Discord server, they seem like they're all cardboard cutouts, but they're as real as you are. So seeing Sifrin fall in this mindset before being picked up and slapped for doing so, it's very good to see. Honestly, yeah, the more meta aspects of this game are really fun. It's not full reconstructive or fourth wall breaky like your Donkey Donkey Literature Club or Undertales, but it's the small things. How characters are slowly revealed to be more than just their stats. Slowly they abandon the normal ways of fighting. It's cool to see it touched on, but not become the main thing. Something really cool about the game is the various special events that you can randomly get at various points of the game. It really makes every playthrough feel special. You can imagine this almost feels like a playground rumor. Yeah, when I was playing the game, there's a scene where everyone saw Ghost of Sifrin and was horrified upon seeing their face. The one I got was for the tutorial fight, where Sifrin suddenly loses control and slaughters it horrifically, causing everyone to be terrified of him. So I showed how they immediately lose back before they saw that. Another guy that horrified me. If you talk to Bonnie post Act 3, there's a small chance that there will be a jump scare where Bonnie is now Sonic.exe with a blank portrait and a creepy distorted music where everything goes normal. There always be from the guilt and trauma coming back to them for letting them die, something that comes into play the first time you fight King after Chapter 3, where Sifrin will immediately become terrified upon seeing King, becoming weaker as a result. But I talked to Bonnie in 2 previous Act 4 loops, so this randomly appearing genuinely made me jump. But a few others I didn't get. A really nice scene between the Change God, confirming they're real, where we're shown to genuinely respect and believe Mirabelle, but hate Sifrin for the loop course. I like that the god talks like a 2010s Hot Topic girl with a ton of emoticons, or one where you kiss Issa before he's ready. An event so unbelievably cringeworthy and hard to sit through, Sifrin immediately resets upon realizing how uncomfortable it made him. Sifrin's mental state gets worse and worse. In the final chapters, if he dies or gets frozen in time, he looks genuinely happy to do so, or just to have some peace. And while I didn't know until after playing, you can actually loop by stabbing yourself with your knife, something Sifrin doesn't seem to mind. This game is actually really dark. It starts off with your typical fantasy story. That warning at the start is there for a reason. At times, it can be hard to sit through. There's a few times I had to stop playing because it hit me too hard. While it's still fun to be had in the gameplay and some of the dialogue, this act seems to be the most pointless from Sifrin's view. It's the most hopeless one. You're really just stuck here, no matter what. This leads us to the single hardest stomach moment in any piece of media I've experienced in the last decade. The start of Act 5. Act 5 was the hardest moment I've ever experienced in a video game. Not because of any difficulty with the actual gameplay. You don't actually really do any gameplay at the start of the act. It's more for the emotions that you are being forced to feel when talking to your family. Sifrin realizes that they're stuck and comes up with a way to break the loops by being the one to deliver the finishing blow instead of Mirabelle. So to test this theory, he speeds up all his friend quest interactions since he already knows how that everyone's going to interact. And this broke me more than almost any other piece of media. These aren't just simple characters made to serve Sif. They're living people. So the mix of Sifrin's stress and depression alongside awful advice he gives everyone just destroyed me. Especially as it becomes so clear that Sifrin doesn't want to lose anyone. Sifrin really wants to break the loops. So he's trying to rush the friend quest to make everyone stronger and get the king fight. But his brashness and slow realization that these are truly people and not actors cause him to slip and say things he regrets. Mirabelle starts off, and since he's not thinking straight and wants to get things done, Sifrin spits the worst advice and is asked to leave the party. Sifrin tells Mirabelle that she'll always be alone and that she should accept it and move on. This hit me even harder than the king killing Bonnie. I've been told just because I'm asexual, no one would ever want to be with me. So seeing something so similar to that said here, that immediately hit me like a truck. The slowed down, stored music of the statement didn't help. Mirabelle's realization that everyone teases her, not because she's got easy to make fun of personality like she first thinks, but out of genuine dislike, at least in her eyes, that hurt. That hurt to see my favorite character say that to what's essentially me. And that hurts since as I kind of punch it back in friend groups, the accuracy of the word friend being up to debate made me reconsider a lot of it in my own life. A big fear of my life, maybe my biggest fear, is losing people. Not death. I feel like most people I know are pretty far away from dying, but just not being needed anymore. They outgrow needing me, or that they don't click with me anymore. Mutual discussions turn to me being the only person to reach out, or being someone else others can rely on, turning into them only needing me to boost themselves. Daily conversations that either of us start turn to only us talking if I reach out, turn to there being a 50% chance to respond, to 25%, to 5%, to me taking the hint. Worrying about some random conversation we had, one that I don't remember, wondering if it went differently, we'd still be friends with them, wondering if there's just stuff in their life that I had to cut me out, worrying that everyone I know now will suffer the same fate. Or even the friends I have now are starting to follow points of friends I've had in the past, because they don't have it anymore because they just stopped reaching out even when I tried. There's no bad blood necessarily, there's just dried blood. A healed wound I don't know how it got there. And while the wound isn't seen at all on them, it's still open on me. Your best friend's gone. Something you did, something you didn't do, just one day, caused your best friend to become a stranger. The ignorance of Mirabelle's asexuality, that hurt me. The realization that I and Sifrin lost a friend, that broke me. Bonnie's wasn't as hard. Honestly, I get what Sifrin was thinking here. They finally bonded with you after you shipped it, and they got to fight to save you. Just ship out the gate and see out your friendship. But Bonnie's not an idiot. They know you faked it. You threw yourself into harm's way just to spend less time with your own friend. It's a good-ish thing you did for a bad reason. And now, Bonnie wants nothing to do with you. Well, definitely sad. This is a crabbing breather episode. The innocent child that blames themselves for the horrific incident hates me. Somehow, the other three made me hate myself more. Bonnie and Odile can be done in any order, unlike Mirabel and Issa. But the way I did Odile after Bonnie honestly feels most fitting and the most heartbreaking. You immediately tell Odile about the family tale and where to find it. With her being glad you did, but still a little suspicious how you knew this about her. Mirabel and Bonnie realized something was off about you, but you ruined everything before they could confront you on it. You offered to help them first, and they were just happy to talk to you. But that could only distract them for so long before the ugly truth of what you're doing came clear, and they couldn't bring themselves to help you. Because why would they? You didn't even want to truly help them. Odile, though, she's the smartest and oldest of the group. She can immediately tell something's up. She puts her desire to read the book aside just to make sure you're doing well. She just wants to talk. And Siffrin snaps. She's acting out of character. You snapped, you attacked someone who just wants to make sure you're okay, and now you lost her. And somehow, it's not even the one that hurt the most. Even after hearing about how badly you treated the others, Issa just wants to make sure you're good. Even when he realizes you're lying about being fine. A conversation everyone has had with a close friend. And then he goes on about how he'll always be there for you, and they'll always be friends. You just gotta talk. Then he repeats that. Again. And again. And a fast forward icon shows up. 2 minutes. 2 minutes, maybe more, did I let Issa repeat himself. 2 minutes did I let the screen progressively get darker and darker, hoping, pleading there was a way around what the game wants. There's a good ending to this. That I can finally dry the tears. There's not. You nod off. You're the one guy who wants nothing more than to help you. And even after he realizes you're not paying attention, he still puts it aside to help you. Siffrin's already too far gone. He already lost his self-hatred and doubt, so he insults Issa. And even his best friend hates him. Mirabel was ignorance. Bonnie was misguided intentions. Odile was stress-induced rage. And Isabeau was your entire life crashing down, making sure nothing was truly left for you. Both because of your own mistakes, but also because the world doesn't want you to succeed. This statement broke me. This statement genuinely bawled my eyes out. These characters that I fell in love with, all whom I see myself in, now don't want anything to do with me. It broke me. The fact that you always have to pick different responses manually, there's always only one response, but you have to be the one to say it. That stings. I continue on the vain hope that they'll finally come around, but I'm not that stupid. Loop dropped their know-it-all shtick and called me out, but it's all hopeless. All your friends hate you because you yourself pushed them away. To Siffrin, they never want to see you again. You killed your chances of seeing them again, talking to them, having fun with them, being part of their world ever again. But even without your friends, you gotta push forward. Even if everyone hates you and you have only yourself to blame and everything you touch gets ruined, nothing you do works out, and every time you do something good, it gets validated, all your friends aren't really your friends. Maybe they are, but you don't know that! You don't know anything! Buy yourself you go to the castle, which is all now jumbled up and off-putting. It's honestly a great way to show that you're deteriorating so much that the world is crumbling, while also letting you speed up through the main parts of the game so it doesn't drag, even one-shotting bosses. Admittedly, the third floor goes from scarily messing with you to kind of tedious, as you have to re-enter several rooms several times to proceed. It's hidden to you earlier, but the hint isn't super clear, to where it almost feels random. I had to take like a full day break from playing this game during this segment. Just the stress of this new world and all the botched friend quests, it was too much for me. All these characters that I love, that I saw myself in, left me. And they reminded me of all people who left me in a lot of things. And I just needed to stop. I picked it up back after I had enough time to recompose. King fight went how I expected. I died. You put up a great fight, but eventually he'll put you down. Where you're stuck in a Blake room, with only your thoughts. And your thoughts have nothing nice to say. This is mal du pays, which is French for homesick. A chilling double meaning, both in how you miss your friends and will never find your true home. Oh yeah, did you know this game was French? I didn't know that until beating it. I had to take a long shower after I realized I liked something those cheese-eating Shredder monkeys made. You can't harm it at all. And after a few turns, it starts speaking in the tones of your friends, all of whom still hate you. Bonnie starts first by revealing that they remember that you let them die, and that you should let yourself take a blow. Oh yeah, so pretty immediately I realized this is different self-doubt, not the actual characters. But like, doesn't make it hurt any less. Just seeing Siffrin's icon change from the normal one to the same one they had when they had their PTSD flashback against the king immediately told me this is not going to be a fun boss fight, where Siffrin turns everything around and suplexes Mel. Odile speaks in a very overly formal and posh way, with having a very philosophical rant about how you forget everything, and will be forgotten in return. it really doesn't feel like Odile. It feels like an exaggeration of her from when we first met her, where she's just smart and mysterious with nothing else to her. Is Sif forgetting his friends even though he doesn't want to? Or is he blocking his deeper thoughts on them because he still views them as actors? Or is there something more? Odile once again says everyone forgot Sif, and yeah, that hurt. Issa comes after revealing that his bigger secret is that Sif disgusts him, and he's onto how Sif abuses the loops to make himself look better. Somehow the only one here didn't make me hate myself. Not because it's a nice conversation, because I'm already broken. Issa mentions here that Sif forced him to want him. This kind of implies that even in Crisis, Sif realizes Issa has a crush on him. All Mirabelle says that she just never wants to see you again. My favorite character is saying my biggest fear to me. I might hate this game, actually. Honestly, big shout out to the music of this part. It feels so janky. It's really thrown together, but still just coherent enough. It does seem like what would be playing in your own brain. Bits of pieces that shouldn't go together. Just floating around aimlessly, but happen to be placed next to each other. Then, Mala jump scares you. I jumped, you got me. It tells you everything you already know. Everyone hates you. Everyone wants to forget you. Everyone will forget you. Die. And so, you do. You slip away. Only to be reawakened. All your friends are back. They don't fully forgive you for what you've done, but they're still your friends, your family, and they'll do anything for you. This is exactly what I needed. After a pep talk, Mirabelle reflects King's big super move, freezing him in time. Before he freezes, he finally remembers his country, dying with some sort of peace. A tragic and emotional way to take out a character I still can never forgive, even with his cousin 8 haircut. But it's done. He won. The King is beaten, and control is fading as everyone gets frozen. They're not done yet, though, as you have to ask the head housemaid what's going on. Sif is super weak after his near-death experience, so your friends have to carry you. There's one point when their Sif friend follows you. They never note on it, but it really stood out to me. Is that one of my loops? And there's Sif friend who got so close to victory and wants to make sure you do too? Freaking around McDonald's? I don't know, man. I got my friends, that's all I care about. I don't care what that is. The head housemaid suspects that we feel bad things overusing craft. Side note, but she does a little cat smile a few times. That's the easiest way to make like a character. But she starts glitching, repeating herself, talking slow. Your family recognizes this time, though. They're slowly trying to work through it. But she's still adamant that you'll all go home soon. But Sif doesn't have her home, so he's going to make the whole universe his home. Yep, so the final boss is you, or more accurately, your friends. Sif's fear of losing everyone finally corrupts him to become a giant space monster, and is forced to fight his friends. Who, oh god, just look at them, don't make me do this. Sif's final form's icon is an edit of their frozen icon, signifying that they truly lost their mind. And now, you have to fight your friends. Bugs can lift off a rock. Odile immediately strikes, but the others don't want to hurt you. You can attack them, or you can refuse to attack and hurt yourself. Either way, Sif finally reveals that they refuse to lose their family. Because they all have homes, but he doesn't. He doesn't have a place to go without them. Without them, he's nothing. It's then revealed he made a wish to the favorite tree to always be with his friends. An admittedly easy to put together twist. Someone had to curse Sif. We all know the wish to the main crew. Head housemaidens is too obvious to a red herring. King and Loop have extensive dialogue show it's not them. So it only really leaves Sif themselves. Everyone puts together that Sif is looping in time, and he tries to do it again to avoid talking to them. But Odile traps you, and Mirabelle will always heal you. There's a very good and long talk between you and the gang, where they reveal that they still want to travel with you. Bonnie even bring up that her sister might join. There's a lot I can say here, but I'm sad, dog. You didn't play the game if you're this far. You already know this is heartbreaking. Also, you lost your hat. I missed my hat. You're then allowed to talk to them all individually. Odile's a lot more cheerful, thinking you're cute without the hat, and giving you this great face. Instead making a valid point on if Sifrin couldn't control time, they would have lost the first fight against King. Issa finally confesses that he loves Sifrin. I forgot to mention that in the King fight, there's a rare glitch where even if your shield's up, he'll still one-shot specifically Sifrin and Issa. I can forgive freezing the whole town, but I draw a line on homophobia. I guess Sif still needs to figure things out. I wish we could have gotten more of this dynamic. A canon ace character dating is so rare that I'd love to see how they handle it. But it's a very cute scene. Bonnie's adorable with them hugging, but it's really heartwarming and kind of sad as it's revealed Sif still has PTSD over King killing them. But they're able to get on the same page on Sifrin losing an eye. Mirabelle doesn't want to hear about anything you've talked to past Mirabelle's about, because that's spoilers. And spoilers are cringe. It kind of saddened me since that meant that the scene that I loved wasn't canon to the final version. But throughout the conversations you can have, she comes to a very similar conclusion on her own terms, that the change of leaf is a little silly, that she'll always have her friends, she just won't be lonely, and that she's truly done something special despite being introverted. I'm glad they still had her realize that she's Airways. She didn't get there fully, but it feels clear that she'll still arrive at the same conclusion. Also, God, this image is so cute. Along with little besties. If you check your chest, by the way, everyone is now happy. That's adorable. You can also now talk to everyone in the town, now in Frozen. But the big thing is going back to see Loop. Now, if you flip your coin prior to Act 5, you get a special scene where it's revealed Loop is a previous Siffrin. So if we want to start again, who's revealed to be really bitter to see you achieve their dream of breaking the loop and getting a perfect ending. The universe cursed them by removing them from the loop, but trapping them in years. Loop finally breaks on how they resent that you were able to do what they couldn't and forced you to fight. Admittedly, I didn't do the fight myself. I was told to flip the coin, but I just kind of forgot. Also, the person who told me to do so also told me to eat the pineapple, so I don't trust them. Frick you, Jaden. Whether you beat them or not, leads to the same conclusion. Beating them has them beg you to kill them, while them winning leads them to try to kill you, but they just can't do it. Leading to Siffrin giving Loop an honest talk, bringing up that they only succeed thanks to Loop. And Loop makes you promise that if your friends are to part ways, you never forget them and accept it. Don't repeat the problem. Be sad that it's gone, but happy it happened. A hard message, to be sure. For me in particular. But Loop's right. Sometimes you lose people. It doesn't mean they hate you. People grow older. They grow apart. But memories don't grow. They stay. They stay with you. Forever. Don't hang up on the past. Don't prevent your future. Come to terms with your problems, but don't let them become you. Turn the knife to yourself is an easy option, but not the right one. You'll always have more adventures. You'll always love the adventures that you just had before. Just because I lost some people on my way here doesn't mean that I shouldn't panic about losing the ones I have now. They're adding Mo sit back to Fortnite. Never kill yourself. Also, what happened to Loop to make him stop being a Demi boy? Loop fades, and you would tell this to your friends. Siffrin is worried about looping again, but his friends grab their hands, huddle together, and all reassure each other that everything will be fine. You take a deep breath in and out, you talk to the head house maiden, and everything is fine. For you and your family. I'm not going to stall time for anyone to skip forward, not see spoilers. I'm just going to keep talking for a bit, just a few more seconds. Alright, okay, here we go. What if their name was Sniffrin and the game was called In Smells in Time and the game was about just smelling delicious, wonderful baked goods? So if you watch the spoiler talk, oh my god, it's so great, right? If you haven't, In Stars in Time is a very special game to me. Kirby Trouble Deluxe will always be my favorite game for personal reasons, but this is taking the runner-up spot. In Stars in Time is a game that came to me in my life at a very important time. A game that really spoke to me, on top of just being really fun, and thankfully was fully new to me. I went in on knowing nothing, and I came out loving everything. As much as I love Undertale, Doki Doki, it does kind of suck that I and most people found out about them because of the Sans fight and Genocide Run and Azriel and Just Monica and Sayori hanging herself. I'm glad that this game is fairly underground. Not knowing anything really helps. I'm also glad it's not popular for other reasons. I say with Mirabelle on screen for those who know. The game is funny, it's heartfelt, it's depressing, it's hopeful. It's never too long or hard, so you can take it on no matter what your skill level. But it's always an enjoyable play that's never frustrating. It was one of the best stories I've seen in any media. I really hope that if you're one of these 3 people who played the game yet, this video would catch your interest enough to give it a try. It's not most modern platformers, so definitely check it out. Also, if you play it, you can come back and rewatch the video and watch the spoiler statement, because, you know, views. I feel like it's got the best bits and stuff. I showed a picture of Mike Tyson at one point. You wouldn't get that unless you watched it. Also, I'm just saying, the creator keeps talking about how bringing back the plushies. If those guys were popular, that might be a good reason to. They brought back Siffrin, and I already ordered him, but I still need Mirabelle, and she's like $300 on eBay. God, I wish there was a way to like go back in time to when I was like knew this information, but I could actually buy the plushies. Wait a minute, I have an idea. Well, I hope this works. That was anticlimactic. Wait a minute. I looked back. I'm back in 2023. I can buy the plushies now. I can finally pay the Rock Boulder bill. I can watch the FNAF movie. I can go into the comment section without seeing Deltarune talk. I can. You know, it kind of hurts.